name is Danny Wallace and I am the Queen Bee. I grew up on the council estates of Preston and I was furious when I found out that the Queen was born the Queen. So I set about creating the I am the Queen Bee movement to help more people show up for Wise Up and Rising and reclaim their birthright to success. There's this quote that goes, aerodynamically bees should not be able to fly, their little wings shouldn't get their fat little bodies off the ground, and bees don't care what humans think is impossible, bees fly anyway. And so I wanted to create a space and community where we could do what bees do when they're building something new and festoon and link arms and help each other.
I need to get to know this woman. I need it in my life.
Who is this woman? I need a piece of that.
As a survivor of domestic abuse and homelessness and clawing my way back up from rock bottom, I wanted to be able to put my hand behind me and say, come with me, you don't have to struggle.
I had a dream of something that I wanted to do, and Danny, she got me there.
Georgia Smith!
How the bloody hell did I get here?
Often as business owners, we hide behind our businesses. But as the saying goes, closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not speaking about your business, who's going to know about it? If you're not speaking about your mission and how you can help people, how are you going to help the people you want to help?
I just made a wish come true.
A speaking coach is somebody who's going to be the hands at your back.
Wow, Danny made a wish come true. She helped me get there.
I'm buzzing.
It's life-changing.
What an amazing journey.
Oh my goodness me, I loved it. Oh, I loved it.
We actively encourage people to be themselves because that's the most magnetic thing about you. What people gain when they participate and be inspired is that spark of belief in themselves that creates a furnace, that creates a bonfire, that creates an inferno.
Wow.
It has been nothing short of life-changing.
It doesn't stop there. The community creates bonds and friendships that are absolutely forged for life. It really does become so much more than speaking.
How you feeling?
It felt like I picked up this really enormous thing.
That was awesome.
Epic.
Phenomenal. It was a bit more intense than I thought it was going to be.
Exhilarating.
Went fast.
It felt amazing. Exhausted.
Thinking at all about wanting to stand on a stage yourself or running a workshop, get in touch with Danny, you will not regret it.
You want somebody like that in your corner. It was brilliant. The atmosphere was set, the stage was set, and I think it's smashing.
The Be Inspired Mastermind is for anybody who is ready to take the leap to the next step in their business. You can get in touch with me by following me across the socials at the Queen Bee Danny, or you can head on to my website where you can learn more about the incredible things that we do as part of IATQB. It's www.iamthequeenbee.co.uk. That's peace. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show, Wise Up, Rise Up show. This Wise Up Wednesday. I hope you are feeling good this morning. I'm feeling funky, fresh. I am ready for hump day. I am ready. I've got my sleeves up ready. I'm definitely through the other side of that rest period that I always really, really need directly after Be Inspired. But I am ready, rolled my sleeves up like this, ready for the Be Heard Bootcamp, which is happening next week in the IATQB Hive. So one of the things that I love is this momentum wave that we have going on directly after Be Inspired. So many of you come to me directly after, oh, Danny, I really wish I could speak about my business. I wish I knew how. I wish I could get out my own bloody way and do it. And I'm like, okay, well, let me help. Let's get together as a team. Let's get together as a community. Let's link arms. Let's festoon our way to visibility, which is what's going to happen next week. We've got the IATQB Be Heard Bootcamp, which is I'm going to show up every day next week in a much bigger way, in a much more amplified way than you see me generally. And I will do free training and set you some juicy tasks to get your teeth into so that you can get more visible, start to speak and articulate your businesses. And we help each other do it. So if you are not already signed up to the Be Heard Bootcamp, it is free. I'm not charging you. Hang on. I still got a little bit of a cough. We're not charging you. This is free training that you can get involved with as part of the IATQB Hive. I run this just twice a year. People that have done the challenge or the bootcamp before, come back and do it again and again and again. And it's because it's a really good time to recalibrate. It's a really good time to remember how to speak about our business. And also, visibility is a funny old bugger in that what often happens is that we'll do turning up for a little bit, and then life will get in the way and we start to become inconsistent, and in that inconsistency it breeds you starting to hide again, you starting to kind of step behind things again and getting lost in the busyness of being busy. I spoke to a number of people this week who are coming into the Be Inspired Mastermind, the next cohort, and they like, I'm sick of playing small. I've been playing small for so long, and I didn't realize until I saw somebody playing big that I was playing small. And it makes me sad having those conversations. And so what I do is I provide a platform for everybody in a really safe environment where nobody's judging anybody, everybody's rooting for each other, so we can do the things that we've been putting off, like going live, like remembering why we're doing stuff, like facing our fears, looking at our fears in the face and kicking them to the curb, and doing that together, doing that in support of each other. And it's a bloody fantastic way to network. There is few challenges, boot camps, whatever you want to call them, that I've seen where people really do make lifelong friendships or even work relationships based on the things that they share. And that's because I will be asking some of you to be a little bit vulnerable. I will be asking you to look at some of the bits of yourself that might make you feel a bit uncomfortable. And it's okay. It's okay, because when you're leveling up, we've got to do some of that inside work in order to be able to show up on the outside. And that's the important thing. So I'm going to be sharing with you new training, new tasks, new ways of thinking about visibility, about having a platform that is necessary as we take up more space as a community. What are you saying? If I'm not completely burnt out still, I see what I can do. Back-to-back launching is bad. I agree. I'm a connector. Yeah, Nat, that's exactly what I intend to be. The intention is that it's not just about bringing people in to come and work with me. It's about bringing people in to work with each other. We all do well when we all do well. So this morning, what is the topic for this Wise Up Wednesday? This Wise Up Wednesday, we're talking about new levels, bringing different devils. New levels making you feel scared. Who does that phrase resonate with? Who is experiencing or feel like they are on the cusp of a new level for either themselves or their businesses right now? Who feels like they are at that precipice of change? Who feels like they're at that point of pending magic, but you don't know what the other side looks like, and that might make you feel a little bit jittery? All right. I want to talk to you about success this morning. I want to talk to you about imposter syndrome this morning. I want to talk to you about self-sabotage this morning. So many of you are saying, me, Liz Allen, you get this. I see you. Amy Blaney's shitting herself. I see you. I get it. So many of you will feel this. So what do you do? What do we do when we feel this new level pending magic situation? We don't know how to take up space in those areas. I'll give you a little bit of an example for IATQB. One, definitely the Fly Anyway Foundation. The Fly Anyway Foundation has me hanging on for dear life because of the momentum wave that's happening right now. But what I need to do is, instead of standing there in freeze, I need to be considering who is around me to be able to support me to get me there. What is the gap? What is the overwhelm I'm feeling? There is this, one of my friends, the amazing Celine DeCosta, shared not so long back this wheel called emotional granularities. And emotional granularity. I'm laughing because it might sound like I'm being a little bit woo and a little bit psychological on you, but I'm just kind of, I want you to consider something. We feel big emotions. Has anybody seen, what's that Disney Pixar film where there's anger and disgust and fear and joy? What was that one? What's it called? It's not Home. It's not that one. Let me know if you know which one I mean. I'm going to have to Google it while I'm live, otherwise it's going to bug me. It's definitely Disney Pixar. Disney film emotions. Inside Out. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Alex. I see you. Right. They're the big emotions. So once we understand that we're feeling a big emotion, it's hard when it's big to channel it out. So if you're feeling fear, fear is a big fuck off emotion. But if you know what brand of fear, I love how all of you, I just had a brain fart. I wasn't able to recall it. My brain's holding a lot of things right now. Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you, Rebecca Linley, for reminding me. It is Inside Out. By us being able to understand what brand of fear we're feeling, it helps us help it to move through a little easier. This is called emotional granularity. Let me just see if I can bring up the thing. Emotional granularity. And there should be a wheel. There is a wheel. Okay, I'm going to help you with this. I should do my research before I say these things out of my mouth, but I just had a little bit of I should tell you about this. I'm going to tell you about this. So if we look at fear specifically, so there are different brands of fear. So if you think about a big company, I don't know, let's say Mars. Mars is a big company, right? But Mars have different like factions, don't they? They've got Mars bars, they've got Galaxy, they've got all sorts of different things. So fear, you've got apprehensive, stressed, worried, inadequate, confused, threatened, or helpless. And they're just some of the brands of fear that we're feeling. Then there is even more granularity. There's even more ways that you can drill down into this fear feeling. So more ways of experiencing fear or describing fear. And it's in this description and this identification within this description that we can start to channel this through us and move this out, start to identify, okay, so why is it that I'm feeling? And then start to do the work. So just frightened is too big. It's too in the moment. But if you're feeling apprehensive, what are you frightened of? What are you apprehensive about? Let's bring that down a little bit further. Are you nervous? Are you timid? What does that feel like? What about overwhelmed? Overwhelmed is centered in fear. So what is overwhelming to you? How do you break that down? Desperate sits within that fear space. How do you break that desperacy down? Okay, so I'm feeling desperate about something. What is it that I'm feeling desperate about? You might be feeling desperate about money. Okay, why? Why are we feeling desperate about money? What needs to happen? Where can we generate safety? So we start to like granulate or make this fear smaller in description so that we can really get to the nitty-gritty of why it is that we're feeling like this. Anxious, alarmed. Something's just made me jump. I was just thrown a curveball. I'm frightened. I don't know what to do with that. Inferior or insecure, that's rooted in fear. So if you're feeling inferior, why is it that you're feeling inferior? Who are you feeling inferior to? Is there a mirror that you are placing up to that person? Actually, you need to be looking in the mirror at yourself. Are you looking at that person and feeling inferior? What is that triggering inside you? What is your response to that person? Why is it that they're making you feel inferior? Are they behaving directly towards you in a way that's putting you down, or are you putting that upon yourself? So this granularity is really, really cool way to understand how to move through these fear feelings. Bewildered. There's too much going on and I can't make sense of it all. And that's making me feel fearful. Intimidated, out of control. So these are things that maybe are outside the realms of my genius and I'm not able to implement any of them because I don't understand them well enough. And that's making me feel fear. That's making me feel overwhelmed. So by allowing yourself to understand the big emotion, I'm feeling scared. And then, okay, so what brand of scared? In the shop of scared, what descriptor best describes the type of scared that I am? What chocolate bar in the sweet shop of fear am I feeling? And that granularity, that being able to condense it down into the overwhelm or the anxiety or whatever it is that best describes that type of fear, allows you to directly work on it. Similarly for, let's think about another one, anger. is another great one. And I say great because all emotions are great. All emotions are there to protect us and move us through. All emotions are there to help keep us safe and to heal through stuff, right? So anger, if we are feeling angry towards something, it means that we want things to be a different way. So that is our bodies allowing us to recognize that how things are not the way things should be, and therefore allows us to process to make them differently. Perfect example of this, and forgive, this is a trigger warning in terms of transphobia here. There has currently been out in the news a ban on conversion therapy for members of the I want to say LGB community, because the T have been missed out. The trans community are still at risk of being prescribed conversion therapy here in the UK. So there's been this ban. Oh, we've banned conversion therapy except for trans people. And that is generating in me and in a lot of people who are aware of this situation anger, because that situation isn't right. So we need to use that anger to navigate a better situation. And that could be things like petitioning or lobbying or, testing or whatever that needs to look like. And this is just one example of using anger for good. Anger isn't a necessarily bad emotion. It is our bodies physically telling us that something needs to change. Similarly, let's go to, so if we go to anger, we need to think about, let's go, Sajid Javid on Sky this morning made me want to set things on fire. Like, I hear you. And that is generating anger. And that's because this situation, your body's telling you, as it should, right, that this situation is wrong. And it is indicating that we need to do something to mobilize in order to do something differently. That's how anger works. So how do we granulate this? How do we address this within ourselves and process it? Do we need to take action, or are we angry for a different reason? Are we triggered by something, for example? I'm not saying that in this particular situation, certainly the trans situation, that anger is right. And all anger, for however you feel it is right, is definitely right in the moment. It's how do we utilize it? What do we do with it, right? So do you feel angry because you feel rushed into doing something? I came across somebody a few weeks ago when I was feeling a little bit low, who made me really angry, but I knew why he made me really angry. He didn't make me angry. He was showing up as his best self, doing incredible things, taking up space in the world, being phenomenal. And I already felt busy. And he was showing up in the way that I wanted to show up. He was doing all the things that I wanted to do, but I wasn't able to do. And even though I'm showing up in all sorts of awesome ways, I'm still not showing up exactly how I want to in the online space. I want to be showing up more. I want to be showing up more specifically. I want to be showing up within my niche. All of this sort of stuff. This guy's absolutely killing it, nailing it. And I got dead angry. I was like, oh, who is this guy showing up in my world, showing me how things are done? How dare? And I wasn't mad at him. I was angry because I felt rushed, because I felt, oh God, as if I don't have enough plates to spin. And now this guy shows up and shows me how things should be done. And I felt like I was able to address. That's why I felt rushed. I felt pushed. I felt pressured. And that made me feel angry. So I was able to sort of get granular on that anger emotion. So it's not just the big things, it's smaller things where you can really, you feel seen. Who's this Facebook user that feels seen right now? Let me know. It's not come up with your name. But yeah, who is this person showing up like this? Is making me feel bad about myself because I'm doing loads of things already. I should already be patting myself on the head. I'm already doing very good things, but there we go. There's another bar that's set for me. Like, as if I've got enough time to do that. I'm annoyed. I was angry. It made me feel angry. It's Beth. I see you, Beth. I love you. Bitter. Feeling bitter or jealous about someone. So that's rooted in anger. What does that mean? Where has that jealousy come from? And jealousy is often rooted in a lacking of something within yourself. It's something that you're not doing. Because if you're jealous of somebody and the position that they're in, it means that you're not doing that thing to get where they are, right? And whether we like it or not, that's the case. And it will elicit that feeling within us. So again, utilizing these emotions when we're leveling up. What is it that you're feeling? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling embarrassed? Let's do some good emotions, right? Because we want to be able to, I say good emotions, you know what I mean, for the purpose of the conversation. So happy is a big emotion. I get so jealous of others, Lizzie's saying. This is really vulnerable. Thank you for sharing this, you guys. I appreciate it, you beautiful humans. I get so jealous of others for exactly that reason. Then I have a fight with myself about why I'm not doing it. And this is the beautiful thing about self-awareness and being in a community that allows us to sit beautifully uncomfortably, right? Gloriously uncomfortably. Is it me? Am I the drama? Has anyone seen that? I'm having that conversation with myself a lot lately. Like, am I the drama? I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling pushed. I'm feeling pressured. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Okay. Am I the drama? The answer is yes. The feelings wheel is 2 layers of positive psychology and it's helped me so much. I used it in my masterclass. Amazing. Amazing. I came across this from Celine DaCosta, who's done a load of study into it and shared it sort of in her stories and on her feed, and it really resonated. Right now, a lot of you are feeling this way. So it's really important that we are able to sit with our emotions. And Prash Sharma shared this so beautifully as a part of her talk in Be Inspired. If we allow ourselves to be fearful of our emotions, we can't work through them. We push them down and they stay where they are. So emotions are designed to be in motion, energy in motion, moving through things. When we're leveling up, guess what we're doing? We're moving. We are going to have emotions attached to that kind of motion, especially if you're moving at a rate of knots. Like I'm holding on for dear frigging life here, right? As are so many of you. Your trajectories are crazy. Like I'm looking at the people that are watching along this morning. Anne Ferguson, good morning, my darling. Good morning. Good morning to Maria. Maria will know exactly how I feel, especially like if I look at like bricks and mortar businesses like the Shout Network, their trajectory is like this. They are planning big things. They are growing. And as you are growing, you will feel emotion, energy, emotion. Your energy is emotion. So what is it that you're feeling? Are you feeling surprised? Are you feeling disgust? Are you feeling happy? Let's have a look at some of these happy ones. Like, why not? Happy is a big emotion. Do you feel happy? Is this not the destination that everybody wants? Everybody wants to be happy. I want destination happy. I would argue that it is. I think destination chaos, like making stops off through happiness, is helpful. I'm absolutely moving. This is so appreciated. Thank you. You're always welcome. You're always welcome, Alex. So let's have a look. Happy. Let's break down. Let's get granular on happy. Playful. Are you feeling playful? So most of you that know me, if you've been following me enough by now, will know that I kind of like to keep things playful. That's actually my joy space. If I ever look at my little joy Buddha, who I've introduced you to so many times, he's on my desk because I like to give his little belly a rub and remind myself that every day I want joy. I want to be able to work within my joy space. And if I don't work within my joy space, I need to ask myself the question, who do I need to get in to assist me with that? Because I can't. And does that need to be a favor in this instance? Does this need to be a swap of energies? Does it need to be a financial exchange? It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's right for you and that person. So content is the happy feeling that you're feeling, that feeling where you go, yes, that's okay. I'm here for that. Interested. I'm really interested. And this is how we can move through emotions. We can move from anger to curiosity. Why am I feeling this way? I'm really interested why my body's throwing me up this kind of physical reaction here. What does that mean? Are you feeling accepted? Because that is definitely a place of happiness. I found acceptance so overwhelming on Thursday and Friday last week. It made me cry. It made the emotions spill out of my face because being accepted so hard after years and years and years of not being accepted was amazing. And that's for me as a person in my position of privilege. So for the other people who are not in that really super privileged position of being a white person in the business space, feeling acceptance must have been overwhelming. I saw it on so many people's faces. I saw it as members of the audience. I see it every day as part of this community. That acceptance that you feel can be overwhelmed. Oh, this is my home. These are my people. Oh my goodness. Feeling powerful. Another one of the reasons why the emotions came out of my face, and thank God for Mel Gizzy catching me at the end of Be Inspired. Like I went to the back of the room, downstairs, around the corner, and went, oh, like I had a proper boo-hoo. Felt a really big emotion. That's because I am able to see as part of that, event, as part of this ever-growing community, how powerful it is scary to me sometimes, because we're already doubling capacity on that event, where I'm already seeing that in 2 years' time, it's going to be an arena. It's going to be an arena event. There's not just going to be hundreds of us in the room. There's going to be thousands of us in the room. And not only is there going to be thousands of us in the room, there's going to be thousands of us saying this acceptance, this inclusion, this diversity, this necessity to use this platform to take up space is what the world needs right now. Right now is what the world needs. So that felt really powerful. Trusting is a big happy emotion. I'm feeling trusting with you guys, with my vulnerability when I share these things. That's a happy emotion to be, and I don't feel scared when I trust anymore. It used to be scary. Addressed the scariness of it. What was that? It was feelings of distrust. And now actually, how do I trust again? Well, I can only trust again by trusting again. And allowing myself to surround myself with the people who I aspire to be like, or people who I trust with my heart, because they've proven to me. They've not told me they're funny. They've made me laugh, right? They've not said I'm trustworthy. They've been trustworthy. And there's like granulate this happy feeling down even more. We've got aroused. Ooh, I like it. We've got cheeky. We've got free, joyful, curious, inquisitive, successful, confident, respected, valued, courageous, creative, loving, thankful, sensitive, intimate, hopeful, inspired. This is the feeling that we do our best work in. And allowing ourselves to understand day on day. So when we're moving up through the levels and we're feeling those devils move in, those devils may feel like fear or anger or disgust or sadness, it's understanding, okay, what's the granularity of this? Where can I move through this sad feeling? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling fearful? Where does this end? What is the best descriptor? What is the best chocolate in this sweet shop to describe this feeling that I'm feeling? Okay, now why? Where has this come from? What is this rooted in? And we can move it through much easier. So then the destination could be to the other side of the spectrum. Okay, so where do we generate happiness then? What's the granularity of the happiness that I want to feel right now? The necessity, the journey, the destination for me is peace. The journey is contentment. The journey is power. For sure it is. It is intimacy. It is arousal, however you look at it. Maybe not like on stage, but you know what I mean? What's the destination? And it allows us to move through those scary emotions into those strength emotions so that we can sit within our level up. So when I look at doing the Be Heard boot camp next week, I know some of you are going to be feeling this fear of being seen, fear of being called out, fear of being inferior, fear of all these things. And it is a perfect incubator for you to work through that granularity, to understand. And we're going to go through this again. We're going to do exercises next week, working on this thing specifically next week, so that you can work through it, so that you can really understand it. And here's the thing, admission is the first step towards recovery. We are addicted to our pain feelings, whether we like it or not, because our pain feelings keep us safe. And what I want you to understand is that success, whatever your plan for success is, think about your vision board, right? Whatever it is, think about your vision board, whatever's on your vision board. For me, it is travel with my family is next on the vision board. Is I really want to go to the Maldives. Really want to go to the Maldives. My family don't really want to go to the Maldives, and it makes me sad, but I'm going to go anyway. Or Bali. And do some really deep spiritual work. I also want to go on an all-inclusive holiday with my family with water slides, and we can have fun and do silly things, and I can sit by the pool and read a book or get in the water and have a splash about with the kids. And I really want to do that. That's really on my vision board. And then all of the flying away stuff is on my vision board. Being able to have a really powerful network of powerful people who are really making change and implementing change in the field, specifically of domestic abuse and two things: domestic abuse and contribution to economy. They're my big visions. Here's the thing: looking at that vision, means that I have to do things differently to the way that I'm doing things now in order to achieve them. Because if I was already doing the things, I'd already be achieving them, right? So my body, my subconscious, my parasympathetic system is doing things to me at the moment, which is preventing me from making that happen, because that level of success isn't safe. And the reason why it isn't safe is because it's unknown. And we need to swap those words out with ourselves when we're doing this planning. It's not that it's unsafe, it's that it's unknown. For our bodies, as the beings that we are, unknown equals unsafety, and that's bollocks. It's bollocks. It's just bollocks. It's just not true. That level of success is absolutely safe if you set it up right. That level of success is 100% safe. And when I do my events, I get you to shout this out loud. Success is safe. Pop it in the comments this morning if you're feeling this morning. Success is safe. Whatever success looks like for you. It might look like a family outing. It might look like being able to sleep in 3 days a week instead of no days a week. It might look like making 50 million quid. It might look like a house on the Beverly Hills. It might look like a chateau in France. It might look like moving from rented accommodation to bought accommodation. It might look like declaring yourself bankrupt and starting all over again. That might be success for you, and it doesn't matter what it is, but I want you to understand that it's safe. It is safe, and we've got to make that our affirmation as a community, that success is safe, because if we're frightened of success, we won't create it. We'll be averted to it. We'll have a success aversion, and we don't want a success aversion, right? We want to be propelling ourselves towards success. So if we are together whilst we're creating that success, it can only be safe. Take you to church this morning, you guys, because I feel like I need it too. That success is safe, and we've got to understand the feelings that we have about our success in order to move through them. We've got to granularize those feelings so that we can move them through our bodies, so that we can actually identify them. We can throw them on the page and say, okay, so what's rational here? What do we need to rationally then do to eradicate that particular feeling or move through that feeling to a more safe feeling? Right? How do we move from that feeling to safety? What does safety look like? I love that you're all saying that success is safe. Success is safe. Liz Allen, this is so right for me today. I've needed to hear this. I'm so glad that you've heard this today. So ways that we do that is we do that together. All right. We do that together. We allow ourselves to be visible. We allow ourselves to use our superpower hidden in plain sight, our voice, to speak our missions and our businesses to as many people as possible, so that they know what you do and how you help. If you are not speaking about what it is that you do, how the hell are you meant to be helping other people? You can't. You go around with all these amazing talents, these amazing skills that you can help people with. And if you think that just popping a Facebook post out once every so often is going to be enough, you are sorely mistaken. We need to learn how to articulate this. We need to understand that closed mouths don't get fed, that if we are not asking for business, we're not going to get business. That if you are not saying, I can help you, they don't know they can be helped by you. How do we articulate that in a compelling way? Turns out I know someone who can help you with that. So what I want you to do this morning, if anything that I've said has resonated with you this morning, I want you to go to imthequeenbee.co.uk/bootcamp. I want you to sign up for the Be Heard Bootcamp. We are going to come together as a community next week. We are going to be brave. We're going to be heard. We're going to be seen. And also, I've got a masterclass coming up for you next week as well. I'm going to teach you how to have the X factor when it comes to sharing your business and mission message. Because what a lot of people come to me and say is, I'm really boring, Dan. Dan, I'm dead boring. Nobody wants to listen to me. So how do you generate this je ne sais quoi that makes people want to follow what it is that you do? Turns out I know. Turns out I found out how to bottle it. Turns out I found out how to teach it so that you can do it too. That's the whole premise of what we do here in the IATQB community. It's the whole premise of me as a speaking coach. It's not just me teaching you how to create structures and create TED Talks. Sure, of course I help people do that. Of course I do. But actually, it's about understanding, how do we use this? How do we utilize this? How do we stand out? How do we pop our head above the parapet and say, this is me that you want to come to for this thing? It's my network that you want to come to. It's me that I want you to come to when it comes to speaking, because I'm going to make sure that you know everything that you need to know, and also that you're cared for in the process. because success is safe. It should be. The process to create success should feel safe. It's not always going to be. We've got to have an appetite for risk in order to grow, right? We've got to be risk hungry or risk ravenous in my case. But if we are going to be risk hungry or risk ravenous, then we need to be surrounded with people that are here to G us up. And that's what next week is all about. That is what the Hive is all about. If you're not already in the IATQB Hive, make sure that you are. Search in the search bar of Facebook, IATQB Hive. It stands for I am the Queen Bee. Go to imthequeenbee.co.uk/bootcamp. I'm going to be posting about this through the day, through the next few days. Sign up. You can only win the prizes that are at stake if you sign up. And we've got VIP strategy days with me. We've got all sorts of fabulous stuff. We've got VIP tickets for Be Inspired in September. We've got online tickets for Be Inspired in September. We've got IATQB merch up for grabs. We've got books up for grabs. All sorts of fantastic stuff up for grabs just by taking part. You don't even have to be good. You don't even have to be good at it. And of course, we've got my favorite thing to win is the community champion. So I'm looking for members of this community who've either done the challenge before or are new to the challenge that really want to be a part of the community, that show up for each other and for themselves over the course of next week. So let me know in the comments if you are in. Let me know if you are part of the bootcamp already. I am thequeenbee.co.uk/bootcamp. That is what's going to get you in. That's what's going to get you eligible for those prizes. And at the end of the week, I will be sharing with you who are those winners. So I'm going to pop the link here, www.iamthequeenbee.co.uk/bootcamp. That's how you get involved. I love that we've got alumni past and present from both Be Inspired and otherwise taking part in the Be Heard Bootcamp. I am going to make sure that it's loads of fun. I'm going to make sure that there's loads of learning. If you've enjoyed learning with me this morning, we're going to replicate that through the week next week. The lives are all catch upable. You've got 24 hours per task to catch up on the tasks. I'm making it as get-atable as I possibly can. So I know some of you have muggle jobs and catch up on the show afterwards, but please do make sure that you come and get amongst it. It's so, so, so good. It's going to be so good for your business. It's going to be so good for your business relationships, getting involved with this. And then, of course, we've got that masterclass at the end. I'm going to share with you how to have the X factor when it comes to speaking about your business. So there we go. New levels, bringing different devils, but knowing that you've got an army of angels around you ready to lift you up. That's been the theme this morning. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that it's allowed you to have a little look at some of the things that you're feeling right now and allow yourself to move through them with safety, knowing that success is safe, knowing that this community and me have your back. I love you. Have a phenomenal Wednesday, and I will see you bright and breezy on Friday morning for more Showing Up, Wising Up and Rising Up. Take care.